Hey guys, what is up? Frozen Cuckoo here, and this is a video tutorial on how to troubleshoot a 2PC stream setup if you're using the NDI OBS plugin and OBS Studio. Now, I'm not going to be covering any audio related issues in this video. It will mostly be targeting video related stuff like stuttering, frame skipping, or even just a laggy stream in general. So if you're experiencing any of these issues, then this video is definitely for you. Now, a lot of the things that I will be going through are actually based on my own experiences, and I hope that it helps you. And if it does, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave your comments below. So let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so first I'm going to be talking about internet, because the NDI OBS plugin actually utilizes a gigabit connection to transfer the data from your game PC to your stream PC. So what you want to do is to make sure that your two PCs are not connected by Wi-Fi. You want to make sure that they are connected by cable into your router to ensure that you fully utilize the NDI OBS plugin. You can use a Cat5e cable or above. For myself, I'm using a Cat6 cable, and so far it's been working fine. However, another problem that I faced was that the back of my router was getting really congested. If you actually take a look at the back of most routers, they usually have 3 to 4 LAN ports for you to branch out for your various connections. For myself, what I did to solve this problem was to get a gigabit switch, which is basically a small little box device that helps you to split your connections without losing the speeds. So what is going on from my router right now is that a connection is coming out of the router into the gigabit switch, into that small little box, and then my two PCs are connected into the box as well. And so far that has been working fine for me. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Now, what you want to do after you settle the internet connection and ensure that you're not connected by Wi-Fi is to double check that by going over into your internet network and internet settings. What you want to do is to go over to your adapter options. Once you have that open, for myself, I disable my Wi-Fi so that my PCs do not accidentally connect during the stream to the Wi-Fi, which might end up disrupting the stream and the connection itself. So for myself, I disabled the Wi-Fi. You can go ahead and do that as well. Just right click that and click disable. So once you have that done, you have only one connection left, or you should only have one connection left, and that is your Ethernet cable connection. So what you want to do is to right click that and go over to status, and a small window will pop up, and what you should see here is a 1 Gbps speed. So make sure that both PCs have this here. If not, then what you can do is to actually go and tweak a small little setting, which I will show you guys right now, to make sure that both PCs are having a 1 Gbps speed. So if one of your PCs only has a 100 Mbps speed, what you want to do is to go over to your properties, head over to configure. What you want to do is to go over to link speed. Now, this window might vary depending on the hardware that you're using, but ideally what you want to do is just to go online, search your adapter model number or whatnot, and you probably will be able to find some videos that allows you to that helps you to actually change the link speed. So what you want to do is to go to link speed, and once you come to this window, head over to speed and duplex, or speed, or whichever or whatever it says there. As long as it says speed, it should be the right window. Open it and make sure that it is on 1 Gbps full duplex. For myself, it was actually on 100 Mbps full duplex, and that was why I was not getting 1 gig on my stream PC. But once I did that, then it actually drastically improved the performance on my streams. So make sure that this is checked on both PCs. What you can do is also to go over to your game PC and double check this as well. Now, another thing that you can do to make sure that you are getting the optimal network usage, especially when you're streaming, is actually to open up your task manager. And over here, for myself, I realized that when I have both OBSs running and I'm streaming at the same time, my network usage actually goes up to about 200 to 220 Mbps. Now you see why if you only have a 100 Mbps connection, the OBS-NDI plugin will not work. It's because actually for a 720p 60 FPS stream at medium preset for myself. I am using over 200 Mbps when I'm streaming on my stream PC. On my game PC, I see about 100 to 140 Mbps in terms of the connection whereby it's transferring the data over. Now I hope I haven't lost you guys here because it's a little confusing, but basically on your game PC, if you open up Task Manager as well, you will see a certain amount of network usage as well because you are transferring the data over to your stream PC. But on your stream PC, for a 720p 60 FPS stream quality preset, I'm using almost 200 to 220 Mbps. Obviously it fluctuates, but that is why you need to make sure you have a 1 Gbps connection for your internet. So first and foremost, guys, before anything else, make sure that your internet connection is corrected. Make sure you're not using Wi-Fi. Make sure you get the proper cables. Make sure you're connected properly. And then your stream quality or your stream performance will definitely improve. Hopefully this helps you, and I'll see you guys at the next part. So now I'm going to be talking about how to better monitor your streams so that you can troubleshoot the problems and issues that arises more accurately. And how you do that is by going over to OBS Studio, head over to View at the top, and go over to Stats, and a nice handy window will open up. Now you can find a bunch of information here, but you don't have to bother too much about most of the stuff other than frames missed due to rendering lag, skip frames due to encoding lag, and drop frames network. Now ideally what you want to see is 0%. Obviously now it's 0% for me because I'm only recording, but when I'm streaming it's also at a 0%. For myself, last time during my streams I saw a 0.1%, and to me I thought that it's only 0.1%, so what's the big deal? I mean, come on, the entire stream for 5 to 6 hours, I'm only having 0.1%, but that is actually a lot of frames that you're skipping or missing during a stream. And that actually meant that my stream was laggy and stuttery. You can't just translate it based on like calculating how many frames, because as long as you do not see 0%, your stream is definitely lagging. Okay, mark my words on this one, it is definitely lagging. Now, in order to solve your rendering lag issues, usually it might be because your graphics card is not powerful enough. If that happens, the worst case scenario is that you probably have to get a new graphics card. Either that, or you can lower most of your in-game settings, lower your textures, lower your shadows, or basically just off everything, play at the lowest settings, and you might be able to still stream and play without having any lag. So now I'm going to be talking about how to better monitor your streams so that you can troubleshoot the problems and issues that arises more accurately. The best case scenario, all you need to do is probably just to update your graphics card if you have a moderately powerful one, and you should be good to go. Usually it might just be an old version of the graphics card, or a non-updated graphics card that you have, or software that you have that you just need to update, and it should be good to go. Hope you guys are following me there. Moving on to encoding lag. This one is pretty straightforward. It is actually based on your CPU. So one is GPU, one is CPU. This is your processing power over here. So if there's any lag here, it means that first of all, you're streaming at too high of a quality. So you might want to go and reduce that. I'll show you guys how to do that in just a bit. If you have no lag over in encoding, then you're good to go. You can remain at that setting. And then you can just go ahead and fix your graphics one. If you have zero lag in both areas here and also in your network, then your stream most probably shouldn't be lagging. If you have any lag in your stream, I'm guessing it might just be on your game PC, you are experiencing some lag because maybe you are owning too many programs there, and then you're experiencing like a slow gameplay, but it's not necessarily translating to a laggy stream. Because you're using a 2 PC setup, even though you might be lagging on your game, your stream might actually be perfectly fine. Or vice versa, you might be perfectly fine on your game because you have a monster game PC, but your stream PC is just not strong enough, or you haven't really tweaked the settings enough to ensure a smooth stream. So you need to make sure that you settle the problems individually. Make sure that you have the stats open up, especially if you have a laggy stream, a stuttery stream. Have the stats open up, off the preview, and monitor your streams for the first few couple of streams to make sure that you settle these problems before actually continuing to stream. This way, you will be able to pinpoint if your lag is coming from your GPU or your CPU. So now that we know how to monitor OBS to better pinpoint some of the problems and issues that may arise, whether it be due to network, encoding or rendering lag, what we want to do is to jump straight into the settings in OBS itself. This is on my stream PC, and I'll show you guys the settings that I use, and hopefully it helps you. So head over to File, Settings, and go over to the Output tab. Over here for myself, I use Advanced because it allows for more customization. I'll try and run through some of the stuff with you guys, but I won't go into too much detail because I don't really know everything about each of the settings, just that it actually works for myself. So over here, I use the X264 encoder. I do not use the NVENC one because that is basically using your graphics card to encode your stream. Now the difference between X264 and the NVENC one is that the quality for NVENC is much lower than X264. You will still have a really smooth stream in terms of there's no stuttering, there's no lag or frame skipping, but overall your stream will actually look a bit more blurry than the X264 streams. And this is based on my own experience. I've seen it for myself, I've tested it, I realized that my streams were really smooth with NVENC, but it was really blurry and I didn't like that. So after switching to X264 and playing around some of the settings, I've managed to find a good balance between a smooth stream and a clear stream as well. So use X264 if possible, guys, but if you are using a PC that has only 4 cores, then you might have to use NVENC or AMD if you're an AMD user, because your stream PC processor, CPU processor may not be powerful enough to stream X264. But you might get away with X264 on a faster preset actually. I'll get into that just in a while. So make sure that you do not enforce streaming service encoder settings. I found that actually by enabling this, it actually messes up some of the settings that I've tweaked individually. So for me, I leave that unchecked. Rescale output, I leave that unchecked as well because I do not need that. I'll run over the output settings in the video section later. Coming over to rate control, I use CBR. I believe most people actually use CBR. The only time that you would change your rate control is if you're doing recording, because it actually varies, but try to use CBR as best as you can. For my bitrate, I've set it at 6000 because if you have a gigabit connection, you should have no problem streaming at 6000, which is only 6 Mbps actually, to be honest. If you're streaming for myself, I'm streaming at 720p, so 720p 60 fps, so you do not need anything higher than 6000, and anyway you can't get above 6000 if you're not partnered on Twitch. For myself, I'm an affiliate, so the maximum I can go is 6000. So yeah, if you have a good connection and if you're streaming at 720p 60 fps, 6000 is probably the ideal bitrate that you want to set at. I do not use a custom buffer size. I probably don't really understand what this means, but I've never touched it before, so you can leave that unchecked. For keyframe interval, this one is actually just taken from Twitch itself. You can go ahead and search online Twitch stream settings. They have a dedicated page to tell you what the optimal settings you should probably be using if you're streaming at 720p 60, 720p 30, 1080p 60, 1080p 30 fps. So this is taken directly from them. So keyframe interval, I use 2 seconds. My CPU usage preset, this one is probably the one that you might need to play around with the most, because it varies from different for different CPUs. So for myself, I'm using a R7-2700X. It is a an AMD processor. It is really powerful, and it has many cores and multiple threads, so it allows me to stream at a medium preset. The slower you go, the more time it takes for your PC to encode, and that means that your quality will be better. But what that means is also that your PC you'll be straining more on your PC. But for me, medium works the best without compromising on my stream quality. So you guys might want to start from very fast. Super fast and ultra fast is probably, if you need to use that, you're better off using NVENC as the encoder. Because ultra fast and super fast, the quality is really bad. It's actually really blurry already. So start at very fast, which is probably the default, and then move your way down If you can go to faster or fast, that is actually good enough. But for me, I want to push for a little more quality, so I went to medium. I'm also overclocking a little bit of my CPU, so that helps me get a little more performance, which helps me to maintain medium at 720p 60 fps. Play around with that setting, test out a couple of streams, ask your friends or whoever to also check it out so that you can get a different opinion and then see which one works best for you. Profile, I've set it to high, tune set to none, and over here X264 options, I've not touched it. So after that, what you want to do is to go over to video. And for myself, because NDI is currently active, so I can't change any of the settings, you should be able to change this up. For myself, on my game PC, I have a huge monitor that is going out at 2560 by 1440. On my game PC, what I have actually is 2560 by 1440. My output resolution is also the same. So I'm outputting the same resolution on my game PC. So on my stream PC, which is the one that you're seeing right here, I have it at 2560 1440, which is the resolution that I'm receiving from my game PC, and I'm outputting it at now I'm streaming at I'm having it at 1920 by 1080 because I was doing a little recording kind of like off stream, or rather I'm actually doing the recording now, but when I'm streaming I switch it back to 1280 by 720, basically 720p. So you guys kind of get that, right? On the game PC, what you want to do is to set the base and output to the same so that you do not have to scale the resolution on your game PC, which might affect your own gaming performance. Coming over to the stream PC, what you want to do is to receive the same resolution but then output, scale it down to 1080p or 720p if that's what you're doing. For downscale filter, to be honest, I think bicubic works the best. Some people would say that the other version, the Langzos, or however you pronounce it, actually works better or it looks better, but for me I just use bicubic and then my FPS value is set at 60. Coming back to actually output, on my game PC, you guys do not need to touch anything on the game PC at all. Trust me, in output settings, you do not need to touch anything. Because the way NDI works is that it actually pulls the data immediately from OBS and pushes it to your stream PC. The only thing that matters is your video on your game PC. Alright, so let me repeat. On your game PC, the only settings that you need to touch is actually your video. Make sure that the resolution that you're streaming at, that you're gaming at, is the same as your game, basically. And make sure that the output resolution is the same as well. Make sure it's also set to bicubic and 60 or Langzos if that's what you're using. And then coming over to stream PC, make sure that you're receiving at the same resolution, but your output, you're scaling it down to 1080p or 720p, and make sure that it's also set to the same downscale filter as your game PC. But on your stream PC, you need to tweak your output settings because you are streaming from your stream PC. Now, the next thing you want to do is to head over to advanced. This one should be the same on both PCs, so make sure that on your game and stream PC you set it the same. Process priority, make sure that you set it to high so that it's using the highest amount of priority for your OBS so that you get the most performance as well. Coming over to video, ultimately you want to make sure that your color format is set to NV12. This is for NVIDIA. For AMD users, I'm not sure what you see here, but you should also see a 12 behind. And then your color space, set it to 601 and partial. So make sure that this is also set on your game PC to the same settings as well. This is what I use. This is what some of the tech experts at OBS on the OBS Discord have told me as well after communicating back and forth with them. So make sure you set it this way. Other than that, coming down to network, you probably don't need to touch anything here. And the rest of the stuff, you can probably just leave it as default. And that should be most of the settings that you probably need to tweak on OBS itself. Again, this is what works for me. It might not necessarily work for you. You might need to tweak a lot of the settings, but the most important thing is probably just the encoder here and the CPU usage preset that you need to go ahead and tweak by yourself. Other than that, that should be it for the settings, and that should definitely help you improve your overall stream quality and ensure that you have a smooth stream. Alright, so guys, for the last part of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you just a few small little tips and tricks that you can also tweak, and hopefully that also helps you out. So what you want to do first and foremost is to go into OBS, go over to your NDI source. Mine is labeled OBS picture because I renamed it, but by right you should see an NDI source, which is your game PC's NDI source coming into your stream PC, right? So this is the stream PC. If you do not know how to set it up, please go ahead and do a quick search on Google. You can find plenty of tutorials even on YouTube. Once you have that set up, go over to properties, bring this window to the side. What you want to do is to make sure that the bandwidth is set to the highest and your sync is set to internal. Do not ask me what network and source timing is because I play around with those, but somehow I felt like there was a little bit of desync in the audio and video and whatnot. But like I said, I'm not going through the audio today, but just make sure that it's set to these settings because it works best for me. It might work for you as well. Leave these two boxes unchecked and make sure your color range and space is set to the same as your advanced settings in OBS that I've already ran through in the previous part of the video. So once you have that down, let me open the notepad. Some other small little things that you can make sure to do, or rather not you can, but you should make sure you do, is to make sure that you cap your in-game FPS. Do not uncap your FPS. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite in the past, and I realized that by capping my FPS to 144 Hz, which is 144 FPS, which is the same as the frequency of my gaming monitor, it definitely showed some significant improvements in at least the stuttering. Another thing you want to make sure is to enable VSync, because what happens is that if you have uncapped frame rates, or if you're playing at too high of FPS for a game that you don't even need so many frames, then your computer needs to generate those frames, and that means that more performance is being eaten up, and that means that you have a higher chance of getting a laggy stream. So yes, another thing you can also do is to make sure that on your game PC, go ahead and open up the view and then go to stats as well, and make sure that you're not lagging on your game PC. Now, one thing that I realized for myself was that after I settled my stream PC, my game PC was having a bit of rendering lag. Because of, first of all, the frame rate. I was playing at uncapped frame rates. I was not enabling VSync, especially for games like Fortnite, where there's a lot of motion going on during the game. So make sure that you also open up the stats and check it out. Make sure you're not lagging, especially for the game PC. Usually it would be rendering lag more so than encoding lag. And for myself, on my game PC, I also went to go ahead and overclock my graphics card by a little bit just to get a bit more performance, so that helped with the rendering as well. If all else fails, ultimately guys, what you want to do is to uninstall NDI. What you want to do is to start fresh. Go ahead and uninstall NDI from your control panel. Go ahead and uninstall OBS Studio as well. Go ahead and uninstall no, probably just NDI, the NDI plugin and the OBS Studio. Uninstall everything, reinstall everything from scratch. Another thing that I can think of right now is actually to make sure that on your stream PC, make sure that your game PC only runs your game, okay? And OBS Studio. I used to have a lot of scenes on my game PC, which was making me have rendering lag on my game PC. But after cleaning up my OBS Studio on my game PC and pushing everything to the stream PC, believe it or not, if you have a decent stream PC, it can definitely handle the scenes and even streaming, because you're not even playing any games on the stream PC. So you won't have any of those issues. Okay, so make sure that your game PC has nothing on it except for the game and OBS, and on the stream PC, that's where you have all your Discord, all your scenes, all your Twitch alerts, all your chatbots and whatnot. Okay, so separate those two up, and that way it's easier to also pinpoint where your stream is going, where the issues are with regards to your stream. Hopefully whatever I've shared in this video helps you guys, especially if you're using a 2PC setup with the NDI plugin and you do not know why your stream is lagging when you're supposed to technically not lag. You're supposed to be able to stream at a much better quality than if you had a single PC. Hopefully the tips that I've shared with you here helps. Once again, this is not my information. This is basically just based on my experience and all the research and time spent just fiddling away with the settings and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. Hope it was clear. And if you guys did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content. I also do upload quite a lot of, or rather I'm trying to start uploading more of like my gameplays and whatnot, especially now that Apex Legends is out. If you guys haven't really played it, you can try it. But feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. It'll be nice to also chat with you guys, and if you have any questions, I will also try my best to reply you guys over there. So thank you all for watching, and yeah, see you guys on the next video, I guess.